Hello and welcome to Podcast Folklore for another journey into the shadows of myth and legend. I am your guide Chris, and today we walk into the depths of Aboriginal Australia where there is something that awaits us. It is a creature like no other, a being that does not hunt, does not kill, at least not right away. It transforms slowly, piece by piece, and in the end what is left of you may no longer be human at all. They call it the Yara-ma-yha-who, a creature of ancient folklore told in whispered stories passed down through generations. It is rooted in the rich oral traditions of the indigenous people of southeastern Australia. So, rest easy my friends, but be warned, if you're ever near a fig tree, think twice before you stop and rest under its inviting shade. Let us conjure up the image of this strange being. A figure no larger than a small child, but with an unnerving, almost insect aura about it. Its skin, a striking shade of crimson, glows faintly in the dim light, like they'd been bathed in blood. But it is not the red hue alone makes it unsettling. It is the way the Yara-ma-yha-who seems to blend into the shadows of the very trees it inhabits. Its body, small and compact, it moves with the slippery grace of a frog, with its limbs that are gangly that are too long for its body. Those arms and legs are deceptively powerful, built for quick but quiet movements, perfect for a creature that does not chase its prey, but slowly creeps, patiently waits for the moment to make its move. And then is the hands and feet. At the end of its fingers and toes, there are no sharp claws, no vicious talons that you might expect from a predator. Instead, it has these sucker pads, and fleshy suction-like pads, similar to those of an octopus. These suckers latch onto the victim's skin, draining their life force, not with a bite or a slash, but through slow, deliberate extraction. Blood, the essence of life, is siphoned off silently as the victim lies helpless beneath the creature's grasp. And as unsettling as this is, the Yara-ma-yha-who has another ability that makes it truly alien. It does not consume its prey in a traditional sense. There are no sharp teeth to gnash, no fangs to pierce flesh. Instead, it swallows its victims whole. Its wide, gaping, wet mouth stretches impossibly large as it engulfs its prey. Though it does not keep its prey inside for long, after the creature has swallowed its victim, it waits. The prey now trapped in a suffocating, nightmarish darkness for only a brief time before it spits it back out onto the forest floor. However, if this was to happen to you, if you were to fall victim as it has swallowed you whole and spat you back out, you are no longer the person you were when you went in. Something has changed. You're smaller, weaker, your limbs feel heavier, your senses duller. Each time the Yara-ma-yha-who swallows you and spits you out, you lose a little more of yourself. The transformation is slow, painfully slow. You shrink, your humanity fading bit by bit until one day you are no longer who you once were. You have become another Yara-ma-yha-who, cursed to live in the trees and prey on others. This is where we begin to see the real intrigue of the Yara-ma-yha-who. It is not a killer in the way we're used to seeing monsters in stories. No, its power lies in transformation. It turns you into something unrecognizable, one bite, one feeding at a time. It is like nature itself. The Yara-ma-yha-who is a slow force, dangerous, but with patience, persistence, and it makes it a creature of deep symbolism and something beyond just fear. Now, before we deep dive into the deeper meanings and examine the symbolism, let us actually take a look into the folklore. There is a tale about a man named Gurnian, someone whose pride and arrogance was his downfall. Gurnian was a man who scoffed at the wisdom of his elders. He thought he knew better. He ignored the warnings not to rest beneath the fig tree, where the Yara-ma-yha-who now lays in wait. One day, Gurnian, tired from his journey, laughed off the warnings and sought shade under a giant fig tree. It was quiet, peaceful, but too quiet. Without warning, the creature struck. In an instant, Gurnian's blood was drained from his body by the Yara-ma-yha-who suckers-like fingers. His body was swallowed, only to be regurgitated moments later, though smaller, weaker, with an eerie feeling of something missing. But did Gurnian hear the warning? No. Foolishly, he returned to the same trees later, where the creature attacked again. This happened not once, not twice, but multiple times, until eventually Gurnian was no longer a man, but one of the Yara-ma-yha-who. He was lost to the trees forever. This isn't just a horror story. The Yara-ma-yha-who and its ability to change its victims over time carries a deep lesson. Like many Aboriginal stories, it is a warning, a tale that cautions against arrogance, against ignoring the natural world. In this tale, the fig tree represents the land itself. To rest beneath it without care, without respect, invites disaster. But not to encounter the Yara-ma-yha-who share Gurnian's fate. There is another story, one about a young woman named Yuma, who crossed paths with the creature, but lived to tell the tale. Yuma, like Gurnian, was tired and unaware of the dangers that lay beneath the fig tree's shadow. The Yara-ma-yha-who attacked her, draining her blood, swallowing her whole. But Yuma was different. She managed to escape before the transformation took hold. Desperate for help, she sought out an elder, a wise figure who lived in the mountains. This elder knew of the power of nature and concocted a potion of plants from the land. She told Yuma, "Drink this the next time the creature comes for you." And sure enough, the Yara-ma-yha-who returned. This time, Yuma's blood was poisonous. The creature, unprepared for this turn of events, grew sick and fled. Yuma had escaped the curse, but the elder warned her, never again rest beneath a fig tree. The story of Yuma, unlike Gurnian's, showed that knowledge and respect for nature can be the greatest defense of all. So what does this all mean? The Yara-ma-yha-who isn't just a creature of fear, it is a reflection on the natural world. Dangerous, yes, but not outrightly deadly. Its transformation of its victims over time speaks of how the environment can slowly wear you down if you're not careful. The lesson? Pay attention. Respect the wisdom of the land and its people. Otherwise, you might lose yourself in ways you never expected. So, how is it we, the non-Aboriginals, became aware of these stories? Well, it wasn't until the late 19th century that European settlers started documenting creatures like the Yara-ma-yha-who. E.W.G. McIver, a folklorist writing in 1896, gives one of the earliest written descriptions of the creature, calling it a fearsome red man, frog-like in its movements, who waits for travellers under fig trees. In McIver's words, the Yara-ma-yha-who does not take the life of its prey, but instead transforms them piece by piece into something altogether different. McIver clearly recognised the creature's strange power. It's not a hunter, but a patient force, waiting for those who make the wrong choice. Years later, anthropologist Charles Mountford also wrote about the Yara-ma-yha-who, noting that it serves as a warning for the young and careless. He points out that resting under a fig tree in Aboriginal thought wasn't just a small mistake. It is a serious lapse in judgment, one that could cost you your very humanity. Anthropologist R.M. Burnett perhaps captures the essence of the Yara-ma-yha-who's original meaning. He wrote, "Unlike the boogeymen of Western mythologies, which are used to instill immediate fear, the Yara-ma-yha-who is a creature of persistence. Its powers lie not in sudden violence, but in a slow change, mirroring the way the environment itself can wear down and reshape those who ignore its warnings." And I think this is what makes the creature so fascinating. It is not a flash of terror. It is something more insidious. It's patient. It is persistent. It reflects the very way the natural world itself can change us if we don't respect it. These are the first written accounts of the Yara-ma-yha-who. However, the tales of the creature stretch further through time, as we learn of these creatures from the Aboriginal tribes of Australia, whose captivating folklore surpasses the depths of time as spoken stories passed down from generation to generation. We can only speculate for how many years these stories have been told. Though more curiously, what was the source of the creature? What inspired the original storyteller to paint such a vivid image? What created a creature so alien that its stories and lessons are still spoken of today? And so, the next time you hear the rustling of leaves or the branches of a tree beckoning you to rest beneath their shade, just remember the Yara-ma-yha-who may be laying in wait, as it won't attack you right away. And over time, each time you awaken, you may not recognize what is in the mirror. And so respect the land, heed the wisdom of those who know it best, and stay alert, because you never know what's out there, watching and waiting. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the strange legend of the Yara-ma-yha-who. If you enjoyed this dive into the weird and wonderful, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Just tell me, what do you think of the Yara-ma-yha-who? Let me know in the comments. So until next time, my friends, keep exploring the world with wonder.